Most people don't even get off the ship at St. Croix, and today we have a little under 10 hours to see if it's really worth getting off the ship. Join us today as we explore St. Croix and enjoy our last day at port. Good morning from St. Croix, Virgin Islands, and this morning I took a little bit of a leisurely time to get ready because based on St. Thomas, things opened a lot later in the day. We arrived in port a little before 7 a.m. and it is currently close to 9 o'clock, and I chose not to eat on the ship this morning, so I'm gonna walk down the pier and find a local restaurant that's called Polly's on the Pier. So this morning for breakfast, I ordered the Belt, which is a bacon, egg, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. It had 2 fried eggs on it. And then I ordered fresh, locally made guava juice. It cost $23, but you could use card here. So unlike in St. Thomas, where most things is cash, I'm hoping that today credit card is going to be more accessible here. I was talking with one of the employees. They said the best place to see sea turtles here is actually right off the pier. So you really don't have to go that far to see all the wild sea turtles. Also, I forgot to add that there's wild roosters walking around all over the place. So it's got a little bit of a Key West vibe. Here's the guava juice. I really like anything guava. It has a little bit of the pulp in it. Super refreshing, cold, nice, tropical. This juice, however, was $8, but again, it's local juice. Now, if you look right by those cruise ships, I guess there's an excursion right at the port of scuba diving. There's a lot of fish out in this harbor, and then there's also sea turtles. So that's what I'm on the look for right now, is looking for the sea turtles. Now, I didn't necessarily see any of the sea turtles. It doesn't mean that they're not there. I'm just gonna keep an eye out for the rest of the day along the waterfront. But I wanna get into town, look at the architecture, look at what everything looks like, and then visit the fort. It's a Danish fort from the 1700s. So let's explore the rest of the town. Look at all those chickens. So Fort Frederik was built by the royal monarch of the Danish monarch, whose also name was Frederik, and then he named the town Frederiksted. This was built in the 1750s and is one of the oldest forts in the Virgin Islands. So yeah, it is not an American fort, it is a Danish fort. Now, before I leave the fort, some interesting facts that I found out. Number 1, the cannons in front of the fort have never been fired. And number 2, St. Croix has always been occupied. They haven't had a civil war or they haven't been independent. So obviously they're under the US, so they're a US territory, and then they've been part of the Danish Empire as well. So yeah, some fun facts. I spent about 30 minutes at the fort. Been out for about 2 hours or so, and Frederiksted is very walkable. You don't need any taxis. It's small. It is really small. I think primarily what you should probably do in town is swim and water activities, especially with all the turtles. Don't get me wrong, go in the fort, it's pretty cool. But it's nothing like St. Thomas. Everybody relatively can take credit card. So I wonder why St. Thomas has rolling blackouts and they don't here in St. Croix. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts so far. So there's a little footpath in front of the fort that you can walk to Frederiksted Beach. And it's a really cute beach that a lot of people are doing snorkeling. And then you can rent chairs and all that stuff. Again, everything here is really walkable and it's really pretty. The beach that supposedly has one of the best sunsets in the world is Rainbow Beach, which is a little further down from here. We'll see if I get out there or not. It's just really beautiful. The water is super clear. The water is not crazy cold either. So I decided to take a little bit of an adventure, take a walk up the beach. And then I came across Prosperity Farm, which is a distillery for rum. And there's all these sugarcane fields all over the place. Probably not the best idea to walk, but again, we're on an adventure. So we're trying to see what's there. You can take taxis and local safaris into like these types of places. You can also like do an excursion for this, but I'm really curious how much different it is to just walk up versus doing an excursion from the ship. Feel like I'm in the Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny because there's so much sugarcane everywhere, and maybe a person will just pop out and surprise me. I don't know. But I wasn't expecting the sugarcane fields to be so tall. Yeah, this is really cool. So I've made my way up to Prosperity Farm Distillery, and this is obviously a rum distillery. I saw an excursion for this on Royal Caribbean and it was like $120. Granted, it came with transportation and it came with also a brewery tour, I believe. But I did the farm to bottle tour, which is a 55-minute tour, and it was $35, and it includes not only like a distillery tour, it includes 6 samplings, and then it also includes a cocktail, which for $35, I think that's a lot to include. And I'm just happy to be in from the sun because I think the UV is like 11 right now.
Of course, here at Prosperity, we are grown with cane and rooted in community. So thank you for joining us. I think this afternoon, I have no idea what time it is. This is the original plantation, built here in 1700s. The Monroe family came here from France. Yes, St. Croix is French. They came here, they had about 450 acres here. 350 acres of the sugar cane, and then 100 acres of their livestock and other provisions. He had upward toward 200 slaves here, working the sugarcane fields. Fast forward a little bit, and like I said, the Danish did ultimately take over the territory here. As you can see, and I'm sure you've had a chance to look around, these are original mahogany beams here, put up by our slaves in the 1700s. And then all through the farm, and you'll get a chance to look around at your leisure, but those are the artifacts that were found at the time of purchase. This is the network of filters here along the top, and each one of these pipes leads to one of these 540-gallon beds. It doesn't sound like there's any yeast in it yet, but when it is full, one of our distillers will add champagne yeast and other nutrients to, of course, aid in fermentation. So what you see here, the yeast is eating all that sugar. That's what all these little bubbles are here. I'm converting that to ethanol carbon dioxide. So it'll take about 3 days to completely ferment. At that point, it will be about 70% alcohol content. to get the alcohol to an evaporation point of about 170, 174 degrees. That will evaporate into this onion and go through a process that we call reflux. So it will briefly liquefy and then evaporate for a second time. So that second evaporation is what we're going to call the spirit. That spirit is going to travel through this swan neck here, down the line arm, and through this glass condenser here. It will re-liquefy to enter this still here, which is called low wine.
So in the tour, they talked about how there's a lot of regulations with creating rum on the islands. And so they actually not only have a little bit of rum, but they have a lot of gins and other liqueurs. In the tasting, I would say this is the most unique, wide variety of spirits I've ever had. The banana liqueur is incredible. They have a sorrel gin that has Caribbean hibiscus in it, and that was really, really good. And then this ginger liqueur, which is like really, really intense. That's just ginger juice and cane sugar, and it's 80 proof. Like I said, there's a wide variety of different flavors. This is a really cool place to go. If you want to buy a whole bottle, you can buy one for $50 or 3 for $120. All of the liquors are the same regardless of what they are. So for my fancy cocktail that I got, I ordered the Sorrel Blossom that has that sorrel gin, and it's like a hibiscus gin with some lemon peel in it. It also has lime juice, cranberry juice, mint, and I feel like I had something else, but I don't remember. Oh, it has tonic water in it too. Elderflower, and then it has Saint Germain liqueur in it. But again, this is included in your tour price. That is super refreshing. This is really, really yummy. Perfect balance of the lime juice, the cranberry juice in there, a little bit of mint in there. This is really nice on a really, really hot day. So I took about a 10-minute walk from the distillery down the road to Rainbow Beach. And I asked the workers, I was like, is it really worth it to go down to see Rainbow Beach? Are the other beaches the same? And they were like, no, you need to go down here. And I can also agree with them to say, this is probably one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen in my life. I heard a tour guide over at the fort say that this was rated as one of the most beautiful beaches in the United States. Since this is a US territory, just the crystal blue water and the color of the sand, this is an incredible looking beach. If you're looking for a really beautiful beach when you're in St. Croix, either take a taxi up here to Rainbow Beach or you can walk. I mean, it's about a mile each way, but don't skip out on this beach. It's gorgeous. I was making my way back from Rainbow Beach, and one of the employees from the distillery saw me walking with my pack mule, because I got like 40 pounds of gear in my back. And he pulled over and he's like, do you want to ride back into town? That's something that I've really noticed about the Virgin Islands, is that the hospitality, the people are just absolutely sweet. They don't ask for anything in return. They just want to help people out. He saved me like 25 minutes of walking in the sun, because it's 2 o'clock. This is like one of the worst times to walk. And that was really, really nice. For lunch, I have gone to Alba's Bar and Restaurant. This was actually suggested by the workers at the distillery. I was looking for more of a local feel, local food, and this is really like a hole-in-the-wall type of place. But I got the Croix roasted pork, I got seasoned rice, and I think they were like some sweet potatoes or something like that, and then I got some hatch pepper sauce on it, and it was incredible. I said to the server, I was like, order me the most traditional thing, I don't care what it is, tell me what it is, and that's what he suggested to do. They can take credit card here, and again, that pork though was like, it had a little bit of a crust on it and everything. It was really, really good. Now, some of the locals suggested to see sea turtles, because we still haven't seen sea turtles yet, to either come to Rawrrs Beach, which is about 15-minute walk outside of town, or Sandcastle Resort, which is like right next to it. I walked down here to see if I could see anything, and it might be the time of day because it's getting close to 4 o'clock and the sun is brutal, and I don't see any sea turtles over here. So this may have been a flop, but it doesn't mean that the sea turtles aren't in this place. So this concludes my day in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. And the question that I had at the beginning of this video was, is it worth it to get off the ship? I would say yes, I think that it is. Now, there's some caveats for that. Number one, there aren't a lot of shops and restaurants in town. So if you're looking for that, you're gonna come out disappointed. If you're into water sports and swimming and snorkeling and that kind of stuff, this is the place to do it. I'm slightly disappointed that I didn't see any of the sea turtles, but you do not have to pay for an excursion here. There's a local shuttle that's free. Oftentimes you can walk onto the island and the same excursions from the ship are like way discounted, and then you can just walk onto the beach. Like, there's not memberships for the beach. Granted, there might be like chair rental. That's a little bit different, but you can walk onto the beach, you can snorkel, you can see a lot of fish, or you can just walk the main street along the waterfront and see beautiful views. I highly recommend going to Rainbow Beach. Prosperity Distillery was really, really cool, really unique spirits. Something I've never had before, like banana liqueur, that's unique. But if you're not into those, you may want to stay on the ship. So if you like what you saw and you want to see more, click that subscribe button, that bell notification, and I hope to see you in the next one.